each day, and today I want to look at a question that one of my followers asked, and it has to do with dealing with conflicts. Most times people think that conflicts are bad things. They think that when you are in conflict situations, it is the worst times that you can ever be in. But I can tell you that conflicts are good, because when you look at silver and you look at gold, before they come out to have their shine, before they come out to look the way they look, they have to go through fire. So as a man, before you become what you want to become, before you achieve the things that you want to achieve, you would have to go through some difficult times. And when you go through those difficult times, it is how you respond or react to the conflicts that makes the conflict a good one for you or a bad one for you. Because most times people react to conflicts rather than respond to conflicts. And if you react to conflicts, like I said in my previous videos, you are not going to get the healing that you are looking for, but you are going to rather mess up and aggravate the situation, and your conflict situation is actually going to get worse and not better. There's this thing that is said in Proverbs chapter 24 verse 10. It says categorically that if thou faint in the day of adversity, it simply means thy strength is small. If you have trouble and you faint, if you have trouble and you give up, if you find that you are in difficult times and you don't find a solution to it, but you rather give up, it means your strength is small. So it is when you find yourself in conflict situations, when you find yourself in difficult situations, that is when the gold, the silver, the platinum, the diamond in you should come out. But if you faint and you give up, it means that you have no strength. And usually there's people who are afraid of conflicts, people who are afraid of troubles, that faint when they are faced with adversities. So it is important that you get to understand that adversities are a very, very valuable part of every human's life. They shouldn't be a terrible part of your life. They should be a very valuable part. You should value it, because it is when you come out of those adversities that the best in you comes out. Accept responsibilities for the conditions that you find yourself in, or the actions that you took to bring yourself to that state, and work on yourself to be able to deal with it. Analyze and discover the value of the adversity and what the outcomes is going to be, and then also seek insight from others. That is why it is always said that two better heads are better than one. So when you are in conflict situations, it pays to look for somebody who is a little more experienced, or somebody who is well versed in the area that you find trouble in, to help you, to aid you, to assist you in dealing with the conflict. So conflicts are actually not a bad thing, but actually they bring out the purity in you. They help you create a better you. They help you get deeper into yourself, and even help you make and create healthier relationships. When you face one or two mishaps, when you face one or two hard times, it doesn't mean that because you're facing those hard times you should give up, you should fold your arms in tears and not actually want to solve that problem. So there are right ways of dealing with conflicts and there are wrong ways of dealing with conflicts. Now, one of the ways that you need to take note of, a verse in the Bible, those of you who are Christians should be able to relate to this. Proverbs 25 verse 18. It says, go not forth hastily into strife, lest thou know what to do at the end, when the neighbor had put thee to shame. Do not hastily go into strife. Don't quickly get angry, because when you get angry and the person you are angry with then explains things to you, you will see that you will be put to shame. So when you look at Proverbs 25 verse 8, it says there clearly, Also, when you look at Proverbs chapter 25 verse 9, it says that debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself and discover not a secret to another. So when you are in conflict with your partner, talk to the person. Do not disclose secrets that you have between the two of you to other people. It's not necessary. It is not needed. So it's important that you take your time to look at the conflict. You take your time to understand the role you played and find ways to not aggravate the issues, but rather find ways to get the issues down. Now, there are some do's and don'ts that you would have to observe when you are in conflict. It's very important that you take note of these do's and don'ts in conflicts. The first I would elaborate on is do not bury your head. Do not bury your problem. Do not shelve it. Do not cover it up. Talk about it. Avoiding talking about it is not healthy. Do not bury it. But if you want to talk about it, you're not speaking your heart out. Because most times when you are hurt, you are angry, and you speak your heart out, you make statements, you make sentences, you make comments, you use words that when you are calm and those words are played back to you, you will not feel too comfortable. So it is best that you calm down rather before you try to engage. But do not bury the problem. Do not hide behind the problem and say that nothing, even though there's something, because that will eat you up. Do not deny that there's any problem. When there's a problem, accept that there's a problem, and then attack the problem and not the person's character. Do not attack the person's character. I think I said this in one of my other videos, that talk to the person and not at the person. And then do not use words that would inflame the conflict that you're already having. Try to use words that will bring the tempers down. Don't inflame the passions. And I would also say here that address the current issues, not issues that have already happened. Just address the current issue. The current issue is what you are dealing with, so deal with it now. And then do not overly generalize, because most people will say that all men are like that, all women are like that, using some superlatives that you know that later on when played back to you, you are not going to like. So you should make sure that you don't overgeneralize. Make comments, you are a crook, you are a cheat. When you do that, you are rather messing up the relationship rather than trying to fix it. And then don't offer ultimatums and don't offer threats, because once you offer an ultimatum, you've thrown a challenge. Once you threaten the person would attempt to defend him or herself. So you should take note of this other one. And then remember that non-verbal language is serious. So it is not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. You should also consider the choice of words, your body language, and the tone of voice. All those would contribute to calming down the situation or making the situation worse. So you should be able to take note of that. And also, don't interrupt when the person is talking. Yes, sometimes it's very tempting when the person is saying something that you know is not what you want to hear. You'll be tempted to jump in to cut the person and want to pass your point. But have the patience to listen to the person. And once the person is finished with the talking, then you can also come up with your side of the story. And then don't raise your voice. Like I said, keep your voice down. Choose words that will not inflame passions. Choose words that will not hurt you both later. It's very, very important. And then don't walk away when you are in conflict with your spouse or with somebody. When the person is angry talking, and then you think that walking away on the person is just the easiest way to cool down. Yes, sometimes you need to just step aside just to cool off. But walking away from the person when the person is trying to address an issue that you both have is quite disrespectful. So it is important that you take note of these do's and don'ts. And then also some of the things that you would have to do. Some of the things you would have to do is to find time. Again, like I said, take time out to control your temper so you become calm. So if you are walking away from the person, just tell the person, excuse me, I would want to step aside so I can come and calm down, come back so I can talk to you so you can hear me. Because when we are both angry, we will not hear each other, and the arguments we're going to have, we're going to end up exchanging words that normally we would not want to hear. So that would, I'm sure, calm tempers down. And then before you engage your partner into any conversation that has to do with the conflicts that you are already having, make sure that you have prepared yourself. You just don't get up when you have not prepared anything up in your mind that you want to say, and then go and start throwing words at the person. Because if you're not careful, the person is going to make you look foolish, because you may not have organized your thoughts well. Even though you may be right, you may not have organized your thoughts well, and you may not be saying what you need to say. So determine the specific goal of the conflict, of the confrontation, of the problem. What is the goal? What do you want to achieve by engaging the person? You need to be able to have that motive behind your mind, and then actually specifically what you want to say, what you want to pass across. Think about it over and over in your head, so that when you are passing it across, you know exactly what you're saying, so that it doesn't come out of just the subconscious mind, which usually sees the things that eventually you end up regretting. Approach your confrontations with the spirit of a learner. When I say with the spirit of a learner, go in as if you want to learn from the person, as if you want to help correct the situation, not as if you are right and the person is wrong and all that, and you're trying to play holy, like you didn't play any role in making the conflict happen. So you need to be able to check yourself on that side, so you don't start trying to resolve your conflict playing the role of I know it all, I'm all right. Just go in like you want to learn. You want to learn what you did wrong so that you can be able to correct it. It's important that you approach your conflicts in this manner. And then also check the use of criticisms. When you are engaging the partner, trying to find a solution to your problems, avoid criticizing the person for whatever thing the person is. And if you really want to keep the relationship, then you should follow some of these basic rules. And then be willing to accept your own side of the problem. Be willing to accept the part that you played in creating the conflict. And then, if possible, ask for advice. Ask the other party what you think should be done, which went down. This and many others that would happen would not be okay. It's very, very important that you do that. And then also, do not attack the person. Like I said before, when you attack the person, the person is also going to find ways to attack you. So it's important that you do not attack the person's personality. Keep to the subject, keep to the topic, keep the confrontation to whatever it is that you want to talk about. Deal with the issues. Deal with the issues or the problems, not with the person. It's important that you do that. And like I've said, words are powerful. Words can kill. Words can heal. So choose your words well. Make sure that you think through whatever words that you're speaking or you're throwing out in a way that when those words are spoken back to you sometime, or when those words are played back to you sometime, you will not regret. That's why I came up with detonation. When you record the person, you actually detonate a bomb, or find a way of taking records that the bomb will not, whatever verbal abuse that the person wants to get into with you will not happen when you're taking records. So it's important that you control your choice of words. When tempers are getting high, try a hug, try a kiss on the cheek, try something lovely that would calm the person down. You can't do this with somebody who is verbally or physically aggressive, so you have to watch and get to know the person. And when the person is talking too much, just give the person a hug. If the person is throwing things at you, you can't hug, so we can consider that. And then also reassure the person that you are ready and willing. You are are ready and willing to deal with whatever issues that you are having, and you are ready and willing to do whatever changes that you have to do to keep conflicts down in your relationship. I'm sure when you observe these do's and don'ts in dealing with conflicts, you would have a very beautiful relationship, and I'm sure you can be able to do away with most of the conflicts that you have, and both of you are going to start seeing the gold in you. You're going to see the best come out of you. You're going to see yourself shine and understand each other and be able to cleave like couples would. I would end here. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back and look at the consequences of not dealing with the conflicts. I try as much as possible to make my videos these days a little short, so I'll come back tomorrow and look at consequences of unresolved conflicts, people who try to solve conflict situations with romance and sex, and its consequences and all that. We'll look at that with, probably tomorrow's video. Let me also apologize for not doing this early. I had a little, up in the head. So, we are humans. We face a few things that stops you from doing what you want to do. Because I promised to do this every morning, but I'm doing this in the evening. But let me also tell you that if you're looking for somebody to take you through some good, proper premarital counseling, postmarital counseling, sex coaching, reproductive health training, and when you're having problems with childbirth and all those things, you're looking for someone to help you get the right ways of doing those things, healthy, natural ways of doing those things, just call me. My contact is 0244 66 1011, 0244 66 1011. This is me, myself, Nichiren Papa Kwamla. Most people call me Mr. Smooth. We'll see you tomorrow with another